guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to go and take a look at this badass right here. This is Physical Final Form Cooler, who just got his EZA today on Global Dokkan. I think this guy is one of the top units in the game. I do think he is like a borderline top 10 unit in the game contender. And wow, I don't even have great equips on him. I actually should put some equips on this boy because he is good. Cooler's capable of doing a lot of damage. Defense is capable of getting really high. Link set is really good. And he's a unit that has gotten, I think, a lot better after his release on JP. He came out on June 8th because two major monsters have come out since this guy has come out. LR Janemba and then LR Full Power Frieza, which Cooler works really well with, right? On a lot of his teams. So that sort of core, right? So like one of Cooler's major strengths here is his Link set. Strongest clan of space, thirst for conquest, big bad bosses, shocking speed, universe's most malevolent, metamorphosis, and fierce battle, right? The core Link set of like thirst for conquest, big bad bosses, shocking speed, metamorphosis, and fierce battle. You can build nasty teams basically sort of centered around that, right? Many characters, you know, such as like, you know, Turles, Bojack, Janemba, Cooler, you know, Goku Black. Like you go down the list, a lot of the villains, you know, from, like, again, sort of like a core, you know, 5 or so links right there, especially a lot of the movie boss characters, they work really well together, right? Like, just Thirst for Conquest and Big Bad Bosses together is 40% attack and defense. So it allows a lot of these villain units to really look exceptional if they're in the right team, in the right situation. So here we are, turn 1, 156k defense for Physical Cooler. Now remember, he gets 120% attack and defense start of turn. He has a guaranteed additional that is a 30% chance of being a super. And he gets 8% attack and defense with every attack performed, up to a max of 80%. So he does have to do 10 attacks to build up his full power. Now again, he's going to work rather well with Janemba. Big bad bosses, shocking speed, metamorphosis, and fierce battle all active. I mean, again, big bad bosses, right? 25% attack and defense. Metamorphosis, 10% attack and defense in the 5% HP regen. Shocking speed giving 5% defense and 2 key. And then fierce battle being 20% attack, right? So you just have so much going on. Now, these two will work as a pretty good pairing for long content as well. You know, because LR Janemba is really good, right? Like, defense, he's probably the best defensive unit in the game. It's one of those things where LR Janemba will look a lot better, though, if you can quickly get him his attacks in slot 2 or 3 so he can build up, and then he starts to be dominant. So 2.87 right there, not really an attack set I'll go super crazy for. But him being able to build up additionals and stuff like that, that's where the damage can start to kick in. And we saw his attack stat jump, right? Because one negative of Physical Final Form Cooler here is his super attack effects, right? Massively lowering defense is not good. It's dog shit, right? Like that does not make me care whatsoever when I see massively lowering defense. Like, come on, it's just, again, that's just bad. So the one avenue where I think this guy could dramatically be increased in his effectiveness, right, would be if he had, you know, if he had just raised defense like for one turn, so 30% defensive increase. I mean, he would be so crazy. But what I've found is that Cooler, right, as you're going through long events, once you get towards the end of long events, he's really able to tank well against a lot of those big bosses at the end. Now, Cooler is very good, but he's not good enough to, say, jump into, like, movie bosses, Extreme Super Battle Road, and, like, absolutely incinerate in there or something like that. I mean, but then again, almost nothing is, right? LR Janemba, again, what I consider to be the best defensive unit in the game, gets destroyed in there. That, like that, those stages, the movie boss Extreme stage, Universal Survival Saga, and Pure Saiyan are just crazy. But, like, you know, piggybacking with, like, a Wii item and stuff like that, you're able to work a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to put Cooler in slot 1. We're going to miss out on, what is that, Thirst for Conquest. So that's 15% attack and defense. So Cooler go from 181k defense, jumping up to 200k with Thirst for Conquest. Again, links really do matter. And it's like, you can see how just on Cooler's second turn, Cooler has done 2 attacks. He needs to do 8 more attacks to build up. and he's already sitting there at 200k, right? So, you know, you are able to get some good numbers out of Cooler for sure. I mean, power creep is definitely, like, evolving on and on. I think, like, when it comes to, like, Cooler's rank for, like, how good of an EZA he is, right? I definitely think I would like him better than, like, you know, Int UI. I think Cooler is probably a little bit better, you know, in, like, some of these, like, shorter event stages than the like, Int UI Goku is before he transforms. But the thing is that Cooler, compared to a lot of the other EZAs like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, a lot of those characters, Cooler, I think, is much better than most of them at the end of events, right? The one... Wow, that Broly has his active skill? I'm not paying attention. Like, I'm so animated and, like, talking and stuff. It's like, wait, that Broly has his active skill already? So I'm surprised to see that. Whatever. But yeah, Cooler deeper into events is one of the better EZAs in the game, right? Because, like, Int UI Goku, of course, as a stacker, works really well. You know, Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he could taper off a little bit towards the end of long events. You know, the Super Saiyan 4s are able to hold their own, but it's sort of the same thing, right? Where, you know, they're not at the end of events, like, completely, like defensive, like, walls the way Cooler can be, right? And remember that, you know, Cooler has got access to some ridiculous stuff, right? Like, third form Frieza being a unit that would work really well with Cooler. He's not going to get the support type buff, unfortunately. Looks like we're done. The Brolys went crazy in this run. Okay, this was movie bosses, by the way. That's the only thing about the Sworn Enemy category team, is I really wish it included the movie villains. Bojack, you know, Turles, Cooler, stuff like that. That would have worked out a lot better. Alright, so that was movie bosses. Let's just do another run for, like, you know, Transformation Boost or something like that. And then we'll do another one for Terrifying Conquer. We'll definitely go into, like, a long event, and we'll see Cooler really build up as well. Alright, I jumped into a Planetary Destruction run this time, and we got very, very unlucky. All of the units I wanted to run with Cooler are on the other rotations. That's a little bit unfortunate right there. So what is it? Cooler turn 1? Yeah, 140. This is where Cooler is pretty unimpressive, right? Like, if you're not able to get a lot of his link set active, you know, these powerful links, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, you know, Shocking Speed, a lot of these links that are just generating a lot of his power, he's not going to look that impressive. I mean, this was just me hopping into a run where we got unlucky, and all of his good partners on the other rotation. See, like, that, the Cooler's attack stats are definitely not blowing me away so far in this video either. Like, it definitely looks like for him to start getting the good damage, we're going to have to, you know, do, you know, at 5+ attacks, you know, really start hammering a lot of those home. But we also haven't seen him linked next to another Frieza clan member yet. On this next rotation, we're going to have him with STR Cooler. And with STR Cooler, of course, he's going to be able to just be dropping loads, man. Because, you know, they're going to have, I think they have 6 out of 7, right? STR Cooler and Physical Cooler, I think they have 6 out of 7. I think the one difference is Physical Cooler has got Shocking Speed. And what link does STR Cooler have? Is it Nightmare? Or Brutal Beat? I think it's Brutal. Maybe it's Brutal Beatdown. Let me double check what STR Cooler's link set is. It's Brutal Beatdown. That instead of Shocking Speed, STR Cooler has Brutal Beatdown. Alright, so that's going to be good, right? We're going to definitely get to see him with, you know, 6 out of 7 links active. Here he's getting 30% attack and defensive support from STR Cooler as well, right? And then remember, Kid Gohan is giving defense as well. So, yeah. Yeah. Look at the difference STR Cooler makes on him, right? Like, do you think that's a bit of a difference? To go from last turn, we're at, like, 140k defense to right here? That's insane. This is where Physical Cooler starts to be ridiculous, right? Look at this. He did what? Did he do 1 attack? He needs to do 9 more attacks to build up. Like, his power can definitely start to look very good. Let's see what his attack stat is right here. Again, it should be like, yeah, at least like a 4 million attack stat or something like that. Let's go ahead and see what we get right here. Yeah, 4.64. I mean, that's better. Like, you know, for like an EZA unit, right? Because this guy came out, what, March 1st of 2017 was his original release date. So it's like that's good. because he's got the additionals coming in. The one thing I'm looking at him now that I would have to criticize is super attack effect. I really feel like maybe just like, you know, giving him defense for one turn would really make this guy like way better. That would be crazy, especially if you bust off one of these 2 or 3 super attack turns with Cooler, so that he's able to get, you know, that 30% defense multiple times. Defensively, this guy would be a beast, a real problem, even in, like, you know, some of the extreme super battle road stages turn 1, so that could be good. But obviously, Cooler, I mean, he's geared up more towards, you know, you build up that full passive of his, and he's tearing up the long events too, right? Okay, we might do like one more sort of like other team, but then I think we're gonna go to like Terrifying Conquerors and like the GT Legendary Goku event, and I'm just gonna let Cooler cook. Alright, so over here in the GT Legendary Goku event, we're gonna go ahead and let Physical Final Form Cooler cook a little bit here. So let's go ahead and get him his full 10 attacks, fully build up his passive. We'll rock him with STR Cooler, who, of course, is definitely his best friend, right? And we will let, again, our boy Physical Cooler cook here. I have him with the Int Frieza. They are going to link up pretty well, though they don't have big bad bosses. What do they have? Strongest Clan in Space, Shocking Speed, Universe's Most Malevolent, and Fierce Battle. We are getting support from both Frieza and the Zarbon and Dodoria, but a lot of the really good links, Thirst for Conquest, Metamorphosis, and Big Bad Bosses, those are the ones that are not activated right now for our boy Cooler, right? And again, those are the most important ones. All right, so we are 2 attacks in for our boy Cooler. Again, we have to do a total of 10 attacks to see Physical Final Form Cooler fully built up. By the time we get towards the end and he's fully built up, you know, he's capable of tossing out, you know, like triple, like 8 million attack stats and shit like that, right? Just looking like ridiculously very, very, very impressive. I do like the Physical Final Form Cooler. I think he's going to be very relevant on a lot of these, like, sort of like villain build teams that he's on. Movie bosses, Transformation Boost, Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquer, Target Goku, Space Traveling Warrior, Planetary Destruction. A lot of those teams Cooler is going to be very solid on. He's on Final Trump Card as well, but, I mean, that's kind of a team that's in, like, a very weird position. I mean, if, like, a leader came out for it similar to, like, Bojack, like a better version of Bojack for Final Trump Card, that would definitely be very interesting. I would be I would be curious to see how that would pan out, right? Like, cause Final Trump Card, like, again, if you had a leader like Bojack for Final Trump Card, that would be interesting, man. All right, so Bojack is giving support. This is actually gonna be a little bit better of a turn because we'll be able to get everything except for, what is that, Metamorphosis activated. Except the 230k defense, that's getting better, right? 230k is gonna allow him to double-digit tank in many of the events in the game, right? Movie Boss Extreme Super Battle Road, he's still gonna be taking like 80, 90, or 100k per normal, you know, but like in a lot of other stages, he's already at a point where he's good enough. The damage is starting to get a little bit good, too. What is that? That's attack number 3 right there. And he was at basically a 5 million attack stat, right? So it's like, as we're going through, like, we're going to begin to see some very dominant numbers. The thing about this guy that's actually... this is a weird turn. I'll do this. Bojack should be okay here. Maybe not. I might have had to use an item on this turn. Yeah, Zarbon, I really do wish Zarbon and Dodoria were better. I don't really know what they were thinking, because, like, the other, like, free-to-play EZA units from the 350 million download celebration were pretty good. But, like, Zarbon and Dodoria are just, like, very oddly not as good. I don't know. By the way, there's still a number of videos for units from that celebration I still have to do. I haven't done a level 10 link video for Jace, Birder, Raccoon, LR Gohan and Krillin, the LR Exchange Vegeta, LR Vegeta's TUR, right? I have the one recorded, I think, for the physical EZA Goku, but I haven't uploaded that yet. So there's still a lot of 350 million download celebration videos I've got coming. It's just been a crazy busy time, man. Very busy. All right. So now, Cooler, now we're in business. We can have all 7 links active here, actually, and I think I will do that. All right, so here's Cooler with a lot of support, all 7 links active. Again, he's got 3 attacks in currently. I will do this. Yep, let's do that. We might take a lot of damage on STR Cooler if that Goku super attacks, but we're not going to die. And I do have some items, so I'll go ahead and pop some if we do take a lot of damage there. 14k. I mean, I was thinking that he might take more than that. That's okay. So even if we get super attacked, we should not die on STR Cooler. And then Physical Cooler and Int Freeze are not going to get us killed. Okay, that worked out well. All right, so Cooler's up to 5.36. Yeah. Now we're getting into the sexy zone right here. Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. Now Cooler starts to get ridiculous. He's halfway built up, by the way. That's 5 attacks. He's only halfway built up. So it's like, you know, we start going into these long events, you have the right partner with him. And this Cooler is, you know, putting on a show, looking like one of the just outright probably better, you know, TURs in the game. I think this Physical Cooler, again, is going to have a lot of use for long, difficult content, which there's always going to be new versions of. The fact that in 2021, we've gotten a GT Legendary Goku event and a Legendary Vegeta event, I think speaks volumes to the fact that they're probably going to continue to push those types of events and then, you know, make each one sort of like, you know, tougher than the last, right? Because the Legendary Vegeta event is definitely the hardest one. I think I will do a video. We'll take Cooler into the Legendary Vegeta event just so I could show that I think, you know, Cooler, by the time we get to the end of it, should be pretty good to go there. I won't bring STR Cooler into that run. But we'll see like how good Physical Cooler is towards the end. Because STR Cooler, if you're not, I mean, I could bring him and then I could just transform with him, I guess. Because then he's definitely working, like his defense is much better after he transforms. So Physical Cooler will lose the support buff, but I guess that is a good way to do it. Just have the two of them transform together. By the way, he's at 300k defense. Yeah, it's pretty good. Again, we've got 5 attacks in. We still have 5 more to go before we're done here. So, Cooler is looking good. All right, so this is attack number 6 right there. Now he's over a 6 million attack stat, just putting down huge amounts of damage. There's attack number 7. I'm not getting any additionals because I don't have an equips on him. So I don't have additionals built up and stuff like that. Damn it, after that first run when I noticed I didn't really have crazy equips on him, I really should have given him some better, proper equips at that point. That was my bad. Alright, but, I mean, you guys are seeing it, right? You see why Cooler is so powerful. I probably would say I like Super Saiyan 4 Goku over Cooler, in terms of just, like, overall, like, how good they are. Basically, my main sort of justification for that, of course, is the fact that Goku is a little bit better in the shorter events, I think, right? Like, turn 1, you know, turn 1 to, like, turn 5 range, I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku is better. And I consider that to be more of a problematic, like you know, amount of turns. Like, there's way less units in the game who are, like, super good or better in those first 5 turns, and there are units who are really good, you know, past, like, turn 10. And, I mean, we can see that Cooler is a god past turn 10. All right, so as powerful as Cooler is with his 332k defense, and we're going to have all 7 links active right here, I'm actually going to use that Princess Snake outright right here to get us a little bit of extra damage reduction. Otherwise, we could be in a little bit of it. Honestly, if Great Ape Goku Super is anywhere, we might still be dead on this turn. We could be. If that comes back, we'll come back to an event, and we'll take a look at Cooler again once we've actually gotten all of the attack stats and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking of him. Where you rank Cooler's EZA in terms of all of the other sort of like EZA TURs. But again, I think he's right up there. It is hard to say because like transforming Frieza is super good. I think I might, I don't know, do I like transforming Frieza better than Cooler? I don't know. I think Cooler might be better. It's just so hard to say for sure. But Cooler is up there, right? Int UI Goku, transforming Frieza, Final Form Cooler, the Super Saiyan 4s, Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku. All of them are very, very ridiculously good. All right, so we have 9 attacks in. So this next attack we're going to do with Cooler is going to be the final attack to completely build him up. Wow, that's a lot of damage we took. Okay. Nice. I guess I'll just go ahead and transform with Bojack. I'll leave the 2 Bojacks right here. Okay, perfect. So we'll do 2 more turns with Cooler, right? We're going to have 1 more turn where we see Cooler, you know, fully built up, and then 1 turn where he's fully built up, and then we're also going to have LRB Pan, you know, sort of working her magic. You know, Cooler fully built up with the LRB Pan buff, as you guys can imagine, is going to be pretty good. That's going to allow quite a huge amount of damage to sort of be outputted right here. It's going to be interesting to see, by the way, just looking at how good a lot of these EZA units have been in 2021. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when, like, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you know, Physical Omega Shenron, when those characters are getting their EZAs. It's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen, right? Like, you know, how good are they going to be? Because I think that they are actually going to be quite exceptional, all of those characters, right? The category leads, STR Ultimate Gohan. I mean, we're going to really, again, start to change the landscape of the game. And, like, there's going to be more leaders available, too, which I think is going to be a good thing. Although it could be a bad thing, I guess. All right, so here's all 7 links active. Cooler's at 364k defense. His defense will go up a little bit after he does attack right here. I'm actually not really too concerned about this in Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But, I mean, I guess I'll just put Cooler. All there is, we lose a slight amount of defense by not having that active. But I do want Cooler in slot 1 right here. All right, so this is going to be Cooler fully built up. This is the 10th attack right here. So this is Cooler fully built up with a shit ton of support right here. And let's see what type of damage numbers Physical Cooler's putting out fully built up. He's at 7.44. And remember, he could toss out 3 of these, right? Just doing huge, massive gobs of damage. And on this turn right here, defensively, he could have been closer to maybe like 370k defense or something like that. That's pretty good. At like 350 plus, like, you know, he would be in like movie bosses, Super Battle Road, taking double digits. You know, one of the harder stages in the game. It's just you're not going to be able to get your 10 attacks in there, right? But like, cool, like that's like, you know, once you're rocking 300k plus defense, like now we're talking. Like, those are some really good numbers. So, all right, let me just skip ahead and we'll get to the last turn where we get B-Pan's active skill and stuff like that. All right, deep in the event here, let's go ahead and pop B-Pan's active skill right here, and let's see the damage that Cooler does. Linked up with STR Cooler, having his support buff, having 6 out of 7 links active, having, you know, his full passive built up. And let's go ahead and see what our boy Physical Cooler does with B-Pan's active skill. What is this, turn 14 right here, fully built up? What do you have to offer to us, Physical Cooler? He gets a 9.59. Okay. We did like triple 10 million attack stats. Is that good? That's pretty good, yeah. That's, you know, he could bust out 3 of those. That's a lot of damage that our boy Cooler is busting out right there. So let me know what you guys think of him. He is a bad boy, that's for sure. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.